Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to share my interview experience in Impressico Business Solution. So this interview basically based on mid-senior level, like the person who have 4+ years of experience, and the round is also decided on the profile for which you have applied. So in your case, might be possibility the rounds may vary on the basis of your profile, but the process remains same, and might be the question is also remains same in the case of front-end development interview. So yeah, now I will get started with the video. So the first question is how I got this opportunity. So the recruiter directly called me and they scheduled the interviews, and I hope they got my profile from Naukri only because I have updated my profile there. I not applied in LinkedIn or somewhere, so I got the call directly on my phone. Yeah, so if I will talk about the rounds, so in Impressico I have faced 4 rounds. The first 2 rounds is technical, the third round is managerial, but that is face-to-face interview, and the fourth round is HR round. So if I will talk about like the first round is technical, round 2 is also technical, and round 3 is managerial round, but this round is not virtual, this is a face-to-face interview, and round 4 is HR round. So if I will talk about the round 1, so round 1 I already told it's a technical round. So the first question they asked me about the introduction, like I need to introduce myself in front of them. Then the next question is JS is asynchronous or synchronous. So basically they are talking about like how JavaScript working behind the scene, and like high level overview of JavaScript. Then the next question is tell me the difference between the position relative and absolute, and also tell the use cases of it, like where you can use these relative and absolute. Then the next question is can you tell me the two ways to empty an array. So I have told the first case, like you can directly set empty array to particular variable, or you can set the length property of array to 0 in order to empty an array. The next question is what is closure, what is hosting in JavaScript. Then they also ask, like they have given some question on the basis of equality operator or strict equality operator, and then they ask the output of it, and once I gave the output they also told me to explain it, like how the things are working here. Then the next question they have asked, like how React work and what is the virtual DOM. Then the next question they have asked me, like what are the pseudo classes and pseudo element in CSS, and what is the basic difference between them, and where we use like what are the use cases of these two as well. I need to explain them. Then the next question they have, like explain the life cycle method in class component, and also explain how we can implement all those life cycle method in the function component. Then next question, like this is a machine coding round type of question, so they gave me like I need to create a timer which will count which will increment by +2 in each second, and once the count become greater than 10 I need to stop that count automatically. But I also implemented a button, like if stop button, so if anybody clicking on that button, that timer automatically stop. So the like if the timer is not reached to the 10 or greater than 10, automatically if I'm clicking in between, that timer get stopped. So something like this I need to implement in machine coding round. Now once round 1 is completed, now I will come to the round 2. So round 2 is also technical round. So the first question is tell me about yourself, so it's the introduction. Then the next question is tell me about your last project and what is your roles and responsibility in that particular project. So basically here they mostly asking me how the whole project is working and what is your roles and responsibility in the project. Then the next question, can you tell me about your any complex component you have worked on. So they here basically want to understand like how I am solving a problem. So like I have given some example, something like this they want to ask, like they are mostly checking my approaches, like how I am solving the problem and how I am handling the problems or bigger problem, critical problem. Then the next question, tell use cases of context API. So the first question they asked me, what is context API? Then they also told me that where we can use context API. Can you give some example? Then the next question they asked, what is the basic difference between the context API and Redux? And also the interviewer gave me some scenarios where I need to tell and ask me like in this scenario which thing I will use, like context API will use or Redux will use. Yeah, and then the next question they ask, what is use callback and use memo in React? Code the implementation of use callback and use memo, like how we are using it in the online code editor. Then he asked me what is the basic difference between the use effect and use layout effect, and where we are using use effect and where we are using use layout effect, and how they are working. Then he talk about like the next question he asked, like what are custom hook in React, and then he gave me one machine coding round. So here he gave me a like a scenario like where I need to create a custom hook that will call an API, okay, and also show the state of that particular API call. Like suppose that if I am calling any API, so I will show pending state. Once I get the response from the server, I need to show the success state, something like this I need to create. So I have created this thing. Then he asked me to add one more feature in that particular custom hook to call the API on demand. On demand means like I will expose some functions from that particular custom hook, and that function, like if I and at that function I can call anytime. Like if I put that function in the click listener, like I'm clicking on any button, so I am calling that particular API. So something like this want from me to implement this custom hook. So I have implemented these things. Then the round 3 is a managerial round. This is a face-to-face interview, so this is like little bit difficult also for me because I mostly given the interview in virtual environment. So yeah, in face-to-face interview the things become different as compared to the virtual interview. So yeah, I went to the office and then this interview gets happen. So the first question is like similar, introduce yourself. The second question, like, are you comfortable to work on another tech? So here basically he want to, like, he told me that your mostly tech stack is on React.js or JavaScript. So if I am giving you some task on Spring Boot or some other technology, so are you able to pick it up or not? So something like this. So I told, okay, yeah, I don't have an issue. Then he asked me like, if we have some existing application and a new feature is coming up and you need to implement that feature, so how you will implement, like how you will approach that thing and how you will add that feature without breaking other things. So something like this he want to understand, and how I will approach this thing in the real project. Then he asked me what is the strategy you follow during the migration of packages. So uh, this question is came from my resume. So in my previous project I have done some migration work in the in some project. So he asked me like how you have migrated, like what are the steps you have taken in order to migrate the packages, and how you like successfully migrated whole code base or whole packages into a new version. So he want to see my approaches by this question. Then the next question he asked, like, are you comfortable in work from office? Because I mostly worked in the remote culture, so that's why he asking about this question. So I told, yeah, I don't have any issue, I can easily work from office as well. Then this interview gets over, and then we come into the last round, that is HR round. In HR round, the first he talk me about, like, tell me about yourself and introduction. Then the next question they talk about, like, about the company and what the working culture they have, and what are the benefits you will get by joining this company, and what are like benefits we are giving to the employee, something like this they told me in the HR round. Then salary discussion they have done at the end of the interview, and yeah, then this interview gets also over. So yeah, that's all from my side. Only these 4 rounds I have. So I hope this video is helpful in some way in your job journey. So thank you guys for watching the video. We will meet in the second video. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Thank you for watching the video.